Hi guys, Clarinet day number 10, or number 9 rather, I'm sorry. I think it's number 9. It might be. I'll check what day it is and then you'll know, you know. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a 20-minute practice today, and we're going to focus on sight reading. And the way we do that is that I'm going to give you a basic building blocks of how you go about it, and I'm going to just show you what I do when I sight read. So, buckle in, guys. First thing we're going to do a 5-minute scale warm-up. Okay, and the easiest thing I know to do is just to work on the scale that the song I'm sight reading is in. Okay, so I'm doing Creepy Crawlies by Michael Story. It's a grade 1 piece. It's got a pretty cool clarinet part. It is in the key of concert E flat. That means for the clarinet, we're in F. So that's 1 flat. That's B flat only. And remember, B flat is this instead of this for B natural. B flat here if you're on the low end, or up here you've got this side key instead of B natural, which is all of these, right? It's a little bit harder. So I don't have to worry about that too much. Let's just do our B flat, or our F major scale. Rather, E flat concert. Here we go. I'm just going to write it from the bottom. Well, that's pretty low. No, it's not. That's an E. Let's try start on an F. 5 minutes. Starts now. Rather. Okay, let's try that again. So remember, B flat is this one down and this guy over here. Or you could do your thumb and your A key. No, you can't. Who lied to me? It's this side key and your top key. I'm sorry. I have a hard time with clarinet sometimes. Let's try that again. That's kind of sticky. That's really weird. That should not be sticking. I gotta fix that because that's gonna be an issue later. Okay, basic major scale for concert F, or for concert E flat. Let's do scale in thirds on our concert E flat, our F scale. Here we go. Cool. And then we'll do our lip slurs and fingering technique workout. And these warm-ups are all in your warm-up papers on Google Classroom. You can go look them up under E flat major, and it'll show you what you're doing. But let's just run this fingering technique workout. there's my pretty basic warm-up. So I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock to do my sight reading, and we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to get some well-timed lesson in. So we're going to start 15 minutes here, and I'm just going to run you through how we sight read. Okay? So, sight reading. I always do sight reading stars when I'm working with a group. So what that is, every letter of the word stars means something. See, I write stars on a notepad. S stands for signatures. Okay? And what that's going to be is your time signature and your key signature. We know what our key signature is because we just did it. We just did a warm-up in this key. It's the key of concert E flat or F for us. That means there's one flat, just B flat. Nothing else is flat. Nothing else is sharp. It's just B flat. So I'm going to write in E flat / F, and then we check our time signature, which is the number in the corner. We've got 4/4. That's 4 beats per measure. Quarter note gets the beat. And if you look through the tune, it does not change. Your key signature doesn't change ever, and your time signature doesn't change ever. So we can know that it's always going to be 4 beats. 2, 3, 4. Next measure. 2, 3, 4. 4 beats per measure, and we know what key we're in, what notes. Okay. The next step is T, and see, I've got all my notes written in. Right with my notes for my notes. T stands for tempo. Okay. That's how fast or slow the song is. The tempo here is 112. I got my metronome out, set it to 112. This is how fast the song is going to go at its fastest. You can play it slower while you're learning, but that's where you want to aim at, the 112. And once we know the tempo, we're pretty golden there, right? We don't need to write that in. I'm just going to write 112. Okay, there's my tempo mark. A stands for accidentals and articulations. And you might not know what those words are, but I'm going to tell you. Accidentals are any sharp or flat, which is any of those, sharp, flat, or natural, that's in the song that's not in the key. So if we look, there's no sharp or flat that's not in the key in this song, except for 1 on measure 38, beat 4, you have an F sharp. Okay? You have an F sharp instead of an F natural. And then we just know F sharp is, instead of just your thumb, it is just your top finger on the top of your instrument. And we'll look at that when we get to it. But that's the only accidental in the song. There's not any more. That means that we don't have to worry about it. Okay? Just know that when we get to that one, we'll have to do it sharp, and you're good. Articulations are different. Articulations are all these things on the bottom here. Your accent, your dot, or your slur. Just different ways to play notes to make them sound a little different. So if we look at like measure 1, we've got 2 slurs in a row. 2 4/8 note slurs. Boo-da-da-dum, boo-da-da-dum. And then we've got 4 accents. Ta, 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 ta. Your accents will be a little bit more aggressive. Your slurs, you know, you don't tongue. Let's see if there's anything else in here. There are some dots. In measure 9, if you look at measure 9, that's 2 after 7. You've got 8th notes and quarter notes that are dotted. That means they're short. So here's the difference between an accent, a slur, and a dot. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it slurred first. Hopefully. That's slurred. Okay, I only tongued the first note of each measure. Okay, that's slurred. Here is accented. I can try to accent without squeaking. My notes are kind of, my instrument's kind of sticking right now. It's really weird. I don't know what the problem is. That's accented. And then it's just a little bit more punch to your notes. And then your staccato, your dots. They're nice and short, separated. Now be careful when you accent with the clarinet. You could hear, if you push too hard, you will squeak. Especially on the clarinet. If you blow too hard, you're going to squeak. Clarinet's very squeaky. But that's the only 3 articulations you have to fool with. The accent, the dot, and your slur. Okay, easy peasy. Number R stands for rhythm. And notice that I'm keeping notes here. I'm taking all my notes on my sticky notes so I don't forget. R stands for rhythm, and what we do is we just go through and find all the difficult rhythms and we work them out before we start to play through it. Okay? So right at the beginning is our first hard rhythm, but it's really not that hard. It's just 8 notes. But they're a little fast. So we would clap them first. You know that the first 2 are slurred, so tu da da da, tu da da da, ta 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 ta. That's how you get that rhythm. And then you can even play it on your instrument. Just pick a note and play the rhythm. Easy peasy, right? Check out those rhythms. At measure 7 is the meat and potatoes of the song. It's the hardest part. And once you get it, the rest of the song is literally cake. We've got 12 eighth notes in a row. Okay, but just separate them to 4s. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Do da 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 do da do da do da da do da. Then a half note at the end is 2 beats. And this next rhythm, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. That's measure 9. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Rest. 2, 3. And I'll play that rhythm, not the notes, just the rhythm. Okay, it's not as hard as it looks. It's all just pretty simple. That's the hardest rhythm in the song. If you can nail that, then you're good. I would write in my rhythm, try to make sure that I remember it. Other than that, the rest of the song is real easy. You've got one extra little yet da da at measure 46. It's just the clarinet. So let's see that whole rhythm, starting at 43. Rest, rest. Okay, that's your rhythm. The rhythm is not hard if you isolate it and separate it from the notes. Just clap the rhythm. Rest and 2. There's your rhythm, okay? You gotta line out all those hard rhythms before you start so that you can really focus on the fingerings and moving the notes. Okay, so I've checked off my rhythms. You can even write in what specific measures the rhythms are hard in. I'm not gonna do that. Next one, the last one, stands for symbols and signs, okay? S is for symbols and signs. That is anything else that's in here. So like a repeat sign, or a fermata, or a dynamic marking, or a decrescendo or something, right? We want to make sure we've got those. So let's look at the beginning. We've got fortes. And then it goes to mezzo forte. And you just gotta write in all your accidentals, or all your dynamic markings. Circle them, right? Circle them so you don't forget them, so you can see them. We go back to forte before 25. At 33, we go back to forte with a crescendo from mezzo forte. Means we get louder over time. The only other thing there is stomp foot at measure 34. You just stomp your foot on that beat. It's really not that difficult. Back to mezzo forte at 39. And then we end in forte. 2 before the end, we've got another forte. And so we're not getting too quiet. We're not doing a whole lot of different dynamic markings. Just note those down, and there's no other symbols in there. No other signs or symbols. It's pretty simple. So here is our sight reading paper that we've filled out. I'm going to take it off the sticky notes. I'm going to stick it to my music so that I've got it in case I forget anything and I want to look back at my sight reading notes. Okay. So now we've got roughly 5 minutes left to practice this tune with our instrument. So we're going to practice the hard parts. Those hard rhythms, all that difficult stuff. So let's look right at the beginning here. This first line, we only see it once. Remember, we're doing our B flat instead of our B natural. It'll make it a whole lot easier for you. Because if you're trying to go at this level A to B flat, or A to B natural to A to B natural, it's really quick and you might get thrown off. But here we're just going do da da da, or do da da da, do da da da. Real simple. So let's try to play that. Not as hard as it looks, right? It's pretty simple. You're just moving 2 fingers. Make sure your other fingers aren't floating off the keys, but, you know. Don't squeak when you accent. Check that. That's just my fault because I'm bad. And then everything else is rather simple. We're going to skip these next 2 measures that we play in because they're pretty easy. You know, D, C, B, D, C, B, A. Let's look at 7. 7's a little harder because we're moving a lot. So you got a lot of movement with your fingers here. So let's practice that a little bit. We can start it slow, right? So we're going to start it at like 100. Make sure we can play it. Okay, it wasn't perfect, but I'm working on it, okay? Let's try it again. Okay, that gets us there. Let's speed that up to tempo, 112. And if you can't get it that fast yet, you need to slow it down and keep working on it. If you can play it slow, you need to work on speeding it up so you can get it to where it's fast. Or where it's fast enough. Don't go too fast. Let's try 7. 1, 2. Oh, blew it. Try again. Oh, blew it again. That gets you to 15. Okay, we're going to move on. Next section that we might have to put some work into. And measure 17, do the same thing again. Let's run it one more time. Then right before 25. Okay, and we got a big rest of 25. We don't want to fool with it. Start at 33. We've got our little, it's called a funeral march, and I'll play that for you in a second. Into 33, we've got a crescendo, so starting a little quieter and getting louder. 2, 3, 4, stomp your foot, right? And then our funeral march for 4 bars. Why am I squeaking, man? I think I've got some sort of sticky something on my instrument. I don't know where it could have been. I think there are slugs in my band room. I should squish them. Like I said, F sharp, instead of doing your thumb, it's just your first finger on your left hand. Let's try that again. And then you get into the end. Right, that's a little bit different right there. 4 before the end, you've got, and then flute goes, and then the last 2 measures. Make make sure you don't take all your hand all the way off because it'll be harder to switch back. Alright, that gets me right to 20 minutes. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to read it straight through. You don't have to be able to do this the first time sight reading a piece. I wouldn't expect it. I'm a good sight reader, but I'm not a good clarinet player, so I'll be able to follow along and finish it, but I probably will mess something up on the way. So do your best to sight read it. You know, take it slower than normal if you have to, but try to follow along. Look for a recording online to follow along to, but only after you've tried to sight read it first. Don't try to cheat. Okay, so we're going to start at the top, at tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, there we go. I went way too fast. Try it again. Lord, fix my brain. That's 15. We're going to skip these rests. We're going to go straight into measure 19. 1, 2, go, go. That's 25. Skip all these rests. Pick it up at measure 32, one before 33. And stomp. And we got the last two measures. And there you are. Okay? Just take some time. I'd never read this piece before in my life. And I sight read it straight through. I definitely made some mistakes. And it wasn't a first time thing, but, you know, it wasn't a first try thing, rather. And, you know, I was reasonably satisfied with how I did. If you put the time in to really learn a piece before you just start playing it, you'll be so amazed with how much better you do, I promise. So, put the effort in to sight read something if I hand it out to you. Don't just, you know, play 2 notes, see you can't do it immediately, and then give up. It takes some time, takes some work. It took 20 minutes, though. 20 minutes is not even as long as a cartoon, you know? It doesn't take that much time to really put some work into something. So, practice this. I'll put it online for you. You should have been able to follow along with me today, because it's already on there. But I hope you have a good weekend. I will see you next week. There will be... Your videos will come out on time because Columbus Day won't be an issue for us, right? Let's do it. I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.